Alright, so here is my schedule for finals. I'm gonna do stuff about finals, okay? So, finals are in 9 days. I think they're in 9 days. They begin in 9 days, 3 days of finals. Let me show you the schedule here real quick. From today to Wednesday is what I'm gonna talk about today, but I'm going to talk about the 3 days here for a second. So, for the first day, we have English math. English is my toughest subject. Math is currently my best subject. You know, I want to get that day over with. Okay, then Thursday, a pretty simple day. Social studies. I don't have a social studies class, so I don't have to show up to school till 9:40. Then I have language, which is French. Which French won't be that bad because you just go over each chapter. You just go over what you learned anyway, so it won't be that bad. The last day, Friday, will be probably the toughest day. I would assume science, theology. Alright, so here's my attack plan. So let's get this guy out of the way. So, finals. Okay, I'm going to show you this through all the steps. I'll go from a step into what I do, and yeah, okay. So step 1. Go through all the information and see what you know and don't know. Very key. So what I'm doing here is I am marking in yellow what I need to study in blue, just a review, a quick review, that's all I need. Then you're gonna want to make a plan for your strategy of how much you need to study. So for theology, I see, after going through all my information, I figured out that I need to study for 3 hours and 30 minutes. That's at the max amount of time I have to study for theology. For science, we have a lab portion on our science test. I set aside 40 minutes for the lab. Then if you add it to the total time, which the other total was 2:55, if you add that together, that is 3 hours and 35 minutes. Once again, it'll probably only be about 3 hours. Just have to make sure then for math, our math teacher has been very good. He gave us the semester review about a month ago, and all the questions that could be on it. I've gone through, I've done them all, and he's going through them as we go in class to make sure we have any questions. And I just go over through it every night that they're doing their homework, which I had done way before. So the night before the test, or the 2 nights before the test, combined I want to study 1 hour, review everything. I just review, make sure I know everything. And French, like I said, won't be too bad. I'm going to study for French at just an hour, probably the night before. It won't be bad. And then English, I've yet to figure out what is supposed to be on our English test, so I'm not for sure how long. I know we have to write an essay. Planning the essay will be a little long, so that I'm leaving about 3 hours and 30 minutes also. So combined total time for this final study session, I have I need a calculator. At maximum time, I need 12 hours and 35 minutes of studying. Probably won't happen, but so then I have constructed a schedule, which you absolutely can't read because I wrote extremely small, or small for a camera at least. But oh, you might be able to see. Okay, so we're gonna start off with English and math since those are our first 2 finals. Study some on Tuesday. On Wednesday we'll add a few more subjects. Wednesday will be a big one. Thursday will be a light load. Saturday, big load. Sunday, a smaller load. Monday will be the big study night. Tuesday, just a review over the next 2 finals. The next 2 days, Wednesday will be the biggest studying day because I will have almost the whole afternoon to study. Thursday will be a nice, easy study for the following 2 days.
Step 3. Execute.
Tips for studying. For language classes, stuff like that, highly recommend flashcards. What? I gotta go take my medicine. For stuff like math,
Work through your problems.
find the stuff you don't really understand, maybe go ask your teacher about it, Stuff like science, theology, you're just gonna wanna read your notes. Ask yourself questions when you're going through the notes. What, so-and-so did this. What did he do? Just say it in your head. It's just easy to visualize tests through that. So after we go from execute, you're gonna wanna make sure you did everything. So
Make sure you have completed your studying.
on the day of the night before the test, you're going to want to review. Do a quick review. Just read over your notes, do stuff like that. Don't worry about what's gonna happen on the test, what's gonna say you forgot to study something. You didn't forget to study something. Trust me, you know what you gotta do. And, I'm going to doubt myself like a gazillion times throughout these next 2 weeks. But it's all about having that confidence. If you're confident going into the test, you'll do well. If you're doubting yourself, feeling, oh man, I should have studied that, just don't worry about it. If you did forget to study, so be it. You don't know it. You get it wrong, so be it. You know you deserve to get it wrong. Not saying that harshly, but if you don't know it, you don't know it, and you can't help it. So those are my 5 steps to taking the final. Those I think will work for me. Hope you thought that was cool. That's my thinking behind what I'm gonna do for finals. I'm gonna execute, hopefully do well. I'm hoping for good grades, get those semester, because ours count for 20% of our semester grade. Big deal. So hopefully I can knock those out of the park. And yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for the rest of the day. Probably not too much. It's absolutely freezing outside. Well, it's actually Sunday now. Didn't do anything yesterday. I had to babysit. My parents had a Christmas party. So we didn't do anything. And today's not very productive either. So I'm very sorry for our lack of nothing. I have to work on this school project. And it's also involving a video, a stop motion video. So, yeah. See, this is what I got going here. I got my tripod set up here, pointing down, shooting some animations. I'll show you an example right now.
Earth sent a probe called Iris into space, but it blew up. Then they partnered with the Chinese. They sent another probe up to catch the Hermes. They successfully were able to do it, and it was on Hermes now. They would now make the long journey back to Mark.
I'm almost done with it. I have 2 more scenes to make and edit 4 more.